Hello, dear mentors. Let's talk about getting shape, and in particular, the shape puzzles as an overview. There's another video that talks about the solutions of each of the levels in the shape puzzle, so please take a look at this. But this video is more an overview of the whole activity, so part 3. Let's take a look, shape puzzles. So the idea is to work in teams, cooperate with different ideas, agreeing with each other, and having a lot of interactions, discuss and reason using logic. That's a big thing here. And at the end of each round, opportunities to share about personal and cultural aspects. So this is about math, but we also have some bonding activities and opportunities just to, get to know your students more. The materials are the set cards. It's a commercial game. So we have 81 cards. And then we'll have 6-star challenges. It's a large yellow card per challenge. So you'll form teams of 2 to 3 students, and they will compete. You lay down the 6 stars. These will be mini challenges. Let's take a look at these challenges. There's 5, but during coaching, you will actually create one yourself so that you get to use it. And then this is the flow. You start with a star challenge. A student randomly selects one of the yellow stars in the table, reads it out loud, and then the teams work on it, and you'll award points for that. Then you'll do level 0 of these puzzles. Let's take a look at level 0. It's here. So you're looking for a card that has certain characteristics. All teams can get points, so no rush, even if some finish early. So let's not make it a race, but more you complete it, successfully, and you are able to explain. Be flexible with time also. You'll maybe be surprised that students take too much time or take few time and actually solve the puzzle. And have teams share what they did and how they thought about it. That's also a big thing. So you want to get students to talk a lot using logic and reasoning. And that's a process. It's only meeting once. So the more, the meetings go by, you'll get better at making sure students reason and justify their logic and their claims. And then you alternate. You do a star challenge, level 1, star challenge, level 2, if there's time, of course. And if there's time, you do a final star challenge. We don't want to rush. So we don't want to use all the star challenges, as you can see, probably just 4. And we don't even want to maybe do level 2. If you just do level 0 and level 1, that's totally fine. So again, in the other video, I talk about the challenges and the solutions to these levels. So let's talk a little bit about actually these challenge cards. So these are the prompts. How do you pamper yourself? So we want to value self-care in Math.co, and we want to make it upfront and make it visible and see if students have thought about this and how they do it. Mentors also can share, of course. Make a silent team greeting choreography. Silent helps, especially if your room is noisy. And it also gets people more creative, right? Because they cannot talk or say things, so they have to really use their bodies to convey messages. Then we have a nice math puzzle. You have to move these 3 matches, exactly 3, to make the fish that's looking to the left and get to look to the right. You can think about it and try to solve it. Then draw something cool that's in your home or school. So this helps us know a little more about our mentors, and just talking about that may help you know about families or things they like to do, etc. Write the smallest positive number that you can. This is a fun puzzle. Of course, there's not just the smallest positive number, but it's kind of a competition to see who's more clever and will be able to express the smallest. Each team will write 2, and so you'll then organize all submissions in a number line if possible. How does this work? Well, the star challenges are here for these 3 reasons mainly. To have students share personal things gradually, so first in small groups, and then maybe, if that happens, to the whole table, but at least in the small groups, even if they tell a mentor or just 1 or 2 students. It also helps engage all students, especially if some students were maybe passive or weren't too able to participate in the other puzzles, the shape puzzles. So this is another opportunity, another open door. And finally, quality, so that the answers that they give are well thought and they're not just one-liners, but they actually get to talk. So again, that's going to be a interesting process. Some students may talk more. You want to focus on all students. Things that are not essential, and you get to, decide and be flexible during the meeting. And of course, anticipate before what's going to happen. So points. I mean, decide how you're going to award the points, but be flexible. You can decide how many points and how. You can be generous, but have students earn them. So high expectations there. The content on the questions, you don't need to be literal. For example, you can change the question about pampering a little bit if it's not getting too popular. So you can change it or rephrase it or just change it completely. It's not easy, right? But it's some skill, teaching skill, that you see that if the exact prompt is not working, you can maybe change it as long as you keep the goals, right? You're still engaging students and having them share personal things. Doing them all, not important at all. So no needed to do all the challenges. And then alternating, you can be flexible. Maybe you can do 2 challenges in a row if you really wanted to do that challenge instead of one of the shape puzzles. And finally, let's talk a little bit about ideas for scoring. So these are just suggestions, and you can tweak them either during coaching or after coaching, decide with your commenter. For the pamper yourself, you could announce in advance that 1 student for each team will be chosen randomly. And then in each team, everybody has to really pay attention to students because all students share, because mentors will randomly pick 1 student and needs to share about all. And then you get maybe 3 points if it's spectacular, and maybe 2 or 1 point if this student didn't really talk about all students, if the student didn't pay attention, right? So this is accountability in cooperative learning, the fact that everybody has to be accountable for the whole team, and it will encourage active listening. For the greeting choreography, you can give maybe from 2 to 5 points, depending on creativity or skill or whatever. So you can just decide what's the best in your opinion, and that's totally fine. You can announce that they lose points if they make noise, so that they're really quiet and actually enforce it. And you can encourage kids to incorporate greetings that they use with family or friends, just informal things. Why is this important? Because then they'll feel that they're kind of at home and with friends at Math CEO, that they are able to bring what they say, what they feel, what they do with their bodies, right? As long as it's, of course, respectful. So they'll feel more at ease instead of some formal tutoring program that gives them no room for being relaxed, right? Because it's after school. The matches during monitoring, you could give hints and then you pay the price, costs 1 point. And then if students really advance and were very fast in the puzzle, just give them another one right away. Here's a good link and you can find others. For the drawing, it's similar to the pamper. Everybody should know what the other students drew in their small teams and what does it mean, right? For the smallest positive number, okay, this is the trickiest one because you don't know what they're gonna write, so it's gonna be surprising maybe. You probably order all submissions on the number line and give maybe 5 points to the closest to 0, 4 points to the next one, and so on. Of course, you get rid of 0 or negative answers, they get no points. Now, if you're not able to compute this order because it may be hard, maybe they wrote like monstrous expressions, you can just pause students for now. Who do you think they won? And leave a mystery, suspense, build anticipation for next week, and then take your time and next week come up with some explanation about that. Remember that the 6 challenge is yours, so you'll create it during the coaching session. You can copy from ideas from other tables at coaching. That's totally fine. We're here to share all our best ideas. So have a lot of fun and see you in the next video.